3, 2, 1, go! I'm so looking forward to printing this, so let's make it happen. You can see it only has 2 eyes because I'm just going to make the keys and the cuts for this, and then I'm going to copy it over, rather than doing it at the same time. With the graphic top. Line. Okay. Cylinder. So I'm going to validate, trim. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna keep this. So I'm gonna clone it. Just bring it out. So I'm gonna use that again. And now I'm just making the key for the eye. Okay. I should probably taper it, but I don't know, it might be fine without it. I think that was pretty good. And I'm going to move it over. So this way I know that this is the left eye. I'm not too worried about the size either. So I'm gonna save this as, actually no, I'm just gonna save it. All right, I'm gonna clone this. I key. Oh, this is the I dot. Okay, so I dot. So I'm gonna clone, or I'm gonna bring this down, and this will be the I dot key. Select them both because I'm in solo. Whoops. And then you have to touch the one you want to actually work with. This one might not even actually need this, if I'm honest. Okay, that seems pretty good, but when I hit solo, there's a lot of this that I can cut. I don't need all of this. So let's trim it off. I'm going to try to trim it straight. And I'm going to continue to just remesh at like 150. Let's turn this. Okay, I think that's good. Let's do round edge. Smooth it out at least. I guess we can decimate these. File sizes just get so big. And they don't need to be. Okay. That's good. The teeth. Let's solo them. So first we'll just crop them. And then box remesh them at 150. Smooth it out. We could use the other key for this. Oh, I gotta find them. Okay, here's the teeth. So let's clone this key and let's rename it teeth key. We'll hide the other one. So let's bring this up to the teeth. Snap it around. Okay, turn it upside down. All right, let's take another look because we have to make sure that we can get it in there. That's the hard part. Because it might not actually fit like this. That's where it kind of gets tricky. So you know what I'm going to do? Let's tilt it. You know what, I have a better idea. Why don't we also trim it like this? Oops. Okay, so there's not that much space. So I don't think that's going to work what I just did. Okay, I think I know what I need to do. So I just need to make a really small piece, a really small key. I think that's the ticket. So even with this might be fine. I just think the key has to be small, like that. It could be a bit wider actually. So I think as long as it's wide like that, it should work. And now I can trim the bottom. So I think that should work. Now just do the same thing with this. Okay. Good. Okay, so for these teeth, I just moved them up a little bit so they're closer to the edge because I'm going to have a real problem getting them into the mouth. I can't have them much bigger than this, and this is already going to be a bit tough. So I think what I need to do is, I already have the key and the key part, but right now it's all too high in there. So I think the only solution is to use the shape of the head to crop the body. I might actually have to do that for this part as well. That might just sit perfectly on top. It might sit perfectly on top. So let's take the main head, and we'll just label this main X, so I know that it's a cut. And I don't think we need the key, we just need the teeth. So it's going to be these two, and we're going to subtract the main head. And of course, I'm going to save. And then I'm going to remesh this at 250 is fine, I think. Let me get that horrible looking. That's the worst. I must say that's the worst. All right, so maybe there's another way that we can do this. So maybe if we can, let's take a look at it solo. So there's a lot. So let's take a look at the head. Okay, we'll hide the mane. Let's just make this so we can see underneath it by using blending. Okay, so let's work on these teeth. So first I'm going to trim these teeth down. Always on the wrong mesh. So trim the teeth down, that will help. I'm just checking out all the potential issues. So some more issues I see are, for example, yeah, I think it has to be trimmed like that. I'll see if symmetry works. No. So I'll have to trim them separately. Okay, so something like this. Let's take the key part and move that down. Doesn't need to be much. I think that's good enough. But I still don't think that will fit inside the mouth. No. It's still a little bit too big. That I think I'll have an issue. I could make the mouth a little bit bigger, but I really like, I would really rather not change the shape. I could try to cut it in half like this. It might be an option. So if I use the line, and what if I cut it like this? Because then I could slide it in. If I do that, then I could probably slide it in this way. And then that would still be pretty difficult though. Alright, what if I use... I'm gonna be so upset if these teeth don't work. Okay, I think that's easy enough to get in. I think I'd be able to get that in. I might not even need the key, if I'm being honest. I think I could probably glue it in like that. I think that's the best I'm gonna do. Okay, so I think that's the best I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go back to opaque. Actually, no, I'm gonna leave it not opaque. I'm gonna join these pieces. I'm gonna join the leaf and the key join the I dot and the key, and the I and the key. Still separate. So now the teeth. Let's change the name to just teeth. And then clone it, and this will be X. So that'll be the cut. Whoops. Clone leaf, and this will be the cut. I dot clone I clone, and this will be the cut. So all I did was copy everything, but now I have the cuts there. So all the cuts, I'm going to turn to blending and turn it down some. And I'm going to start from the teeth. All these are going to be boolean carved out of the body, but not yet. Oh, and another thing I wanted to, I wasn't sure if I wanted to voxel remesh them together. It doesn't really seem to help too much. We'll just leave it. It's just that edge. Yeah, round edge kind of works. All right, so I should probably round edge this one too then. Make sure that they match. So teeth X, that's blending right now. Excuse me, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. And now we can see that it's a little bit bigger. And I actually think that would be okay. You have some space on all sides. It's a little tricky though. It is a little tricky with this part. I've had issues with, because this is slanted, then that might be an issue. This part, I think, is an issue. Okay, so what I need to do is go back. Actually, you know what I need to do? I'm just gonna delete the X, go back to the original, separate them. I might use a different. Maybe I should just get rid of this. No, I'll keep it. I have faith in this little key and keyway. But let's turn it. Oh, that's long. I didn't realize how long that was. Really should be like this. There's got to be no overhang. So I have to be able to put it in and then just slide it straight up. So I think that will work. Just might work. Okay, so now I'm going to take all of these and rejoin them. Clone. And this one will be X. And we'll go back to blending. We'll make that one bigger. There should be plenty of space. I'm still a little worried about this hang off. But there should be enough space. Because I won't really be able to drill that out. But we're just going to have to hope on that one. Oh, you know what? You know what we'll do? Let's move it a little bit further back. It's okay, we'll leave it. We'll just take our chances. Move it up a little bit. And it looks like it is a little too close to the lip of the mouth. So I'm going to move it back some. All right. That's the best I'm going to do. So now let's take the eye, I guess we can do the eye dot X. Let's make that a little bigger. I key X, make that a little bigger. Okay, great. Leaf X. Make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so now the eye and the eye dot. I'm going to take those two and join them. And we need to clone that. So we need to add a mirror. So we add a mirror. Oh no, it's over there. This is worrisome. Okay, so maybe we can take this and use symmetry. Let me save. We need to get it on the other side. So maybe we can do world and then left to right. Oh, it's still not right. Maybe we can do symmetry and flip object. Still not right. Painful. I wonder if it's because I moved it over. All right, let's try. Actually, both of these need to go. Both of these need to go on the other side. So I'd rather not have to place them manually, but I think that might be what I have to do. Because I don't think any of these mirroring options are working. Okay, so we'll clone this key 1 and we'll clone this X1. So all of these flip object, why does it flip them differently? Flip object, flip object. Okay, so at least they're both together now. But unfortunately I have to move them. I actually did a decent job just now moving that into place. I mean, I think that's pretty close. Let's take this off of sub, see what it looks like. I mean, that's pretty close. I can't complain too much with that. And I'm not going to think any more about it. All right, so everything is keyed, everything is made. So we have the main, and then we have this key, the leaf key. Or these are all the cuts, actually. All the X's are the cuts. And then we have the main one. We hide all the cuts. We save. We voxel remesh, high. Okay, looks like we have all our cuts. What is that noise? Of course, we get like, maybe before I do that, I wonder if I need to, I wonder if this will help if I do multi-res. I just don't want to have to smooth out those artifacts. Oh, you know what it was? All these are blending, I think. Okay, so everything is cut. Excuse me. everything's cut. I can probably just sand all those little pieces. Those should fit in decently. Everything looks good. So if I take all of these, why is the pivot always somewhere random? Pivot is still somewhere random. Anyway, if I take all of these and I move them, you should see all the cuts and everything. Everything looks good. Okay, so let's just save it. I'm not too worried about the size of it. I don't think it matters when I'm printing. What is that, though? I don't know what this is there. Okay, it's gone. I think that's it, honestly. I don't think I need to really decimate. The file is kind of big, but I don't think it really matters. I'm just going to leave it. All right, so these are the I keys, leaf, T fees, and main. Okay, so now I just have to export all these separately to the computer. Starting with this. Actually, let's start with the main one. Export, what is it, STL? STL only this. We don't need the vertex colors. So export STL. And I'm going to save them. This would be body. Same thing. So then I'm going to just send them all and save them. And then I'll bring them to the slicer. And then I will print them out. But maybe I'll continue this video on when we get to the slicer, so I can show you what's up. Let's open up Lychee, and then we can. It's opening up on my other screen, but I promise it's opening up. There we go. It's gonna ask me if I want to open the last project, and I'm gonna say no. Oh, it didn't. I must have turned that off. Okay, so now I'm just going to bring all of those files. I'll move this up here. So I downloaded all the files here. Oh, okay, yeah, so I downloaded all the files here. So I'm just going to drop them in to Lychee Slicer. And you see they're really, really tiny. You can hardly see them. So select them all, scale, and then this little box makes them bigger. It doesn't really look like it, but I'm pretty sure that it is making them bigger. They're just that small. Okay, so I have to think about how big I want them on the build plate. And it's tricky because I actually don't know if it's going to work. Make it a little bit bigger. I want it about the size of a lime. And you know what? You can, I think in prepare, oh, at scale. So it'll be about half the size of a soda can. I think that's okay. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to layout. And I just want to select one for now. And notice that I rescaled everything at the same time. Because once you rescale everything, unless you do everything at the same time, nothing will fit. So it's important. So let's just move everything. All right, so now I'm just gonna adjust everything's position. I'm gonna have to stop recording soon. Repair 3D model. Move that. These are really tiny, but I think they should work. I think they should be fine. All right, I want to take a look at these things. Oh, it's the eye. I could have made this a lot smaller, but that's all right. Here's the other eye. All right, I'll be back. So let's move the teepees over. Just want to put everything together. Oh, I've got to repair my models. Sorry. So for printing, let's put them in the right positions. Apparently they don't like it flat, so we have to rotate it. To get used to rotating up to rotate something. Okay. And one thing that I learned is I feel like the closer it is to the build plate, the more warped it gets. So yeah, let's save. Where should I save it? STL Lychee. Okay, so this is saved. I'm trying to remember the shortcuts. What is T? Oh yes, T is move. Not M, but T. Okay, so that's good. these bits are for rotate, and we want them to be rotated backwards. Just trying to get a nice side view. There we go. So rotated backwards. So there's no flat surfaces facing the bottom. And they're actually a little close. They feel a bit close. So let's just give them a little space. Okay, so I think something like that. Teeth. Can rotate them a little bit. Let's put them in line with the eyes. Leafies. Rotate them like this. I think that's good. There's plenty of space. I do want to do more, but I just don't know if this is going to work, so I'm a little nervous about printing more than one. Because if it doesn't work, then it's just like a colossal waste. So I might see what else I can print as well. But anyway, that's pretty much set up. The only thing I would do now is hollow. So everything looks good here. I would go to prepare and hollow, and then hollowing 2D on. And this is a preview of the thickness of the wall. And these dots, they look like decoration, but that's how the supports are going to be inside. So I think I can drop the inside supports to 15. And the thickness, I'm just going to drop to 1.5, I think. Maybe even a little lower. No, I think 1.5. I think we'll keep it at 1.5 for this. And then holes. So we need drain holes. So here's this is the length of the hole. And the diameter is the width, obviously. So we'll put a hole here. We can probably make it a little bigger. And I think that's it. I don't think we really need to put any more holes anywhere else. Maybe in the top, if we can fit one. If it will let me view the top, I guess it won't. Okay, so let's make this smaller. I hope it's not making, let me just make sure it's not making the bottom one smaller. Oh, I knew it was going to do that. Okay, so we have the bottom one. This one, I'm going to put it there, and then I'm going to make it smaller. So at least now we have one on both sides. top and the bottom, so it should rinse out nice and easy. Let's make this one a little wider, just so we can get in there and rinse it and not have any issues. Let's try to put it in the center. Okay, the leaves are going to be hollow, so that might be a bit of an issue. Let's make a small hole here. So at least that part will drain. I'm a little bit worried about the leaves though. I don't want there to be resin inside. So let's do, I don't really want to put a hole in this, but I feel like I need to. Well, this is, we have to make sure we lower the penetration a bit. Okay. So we'll put it right there. I might need to get some putty or something and like seal up these holes. But again, we'll have to see we'll just have to see what happens. That's kind of the thing where I'm a bit unsure. I don't think these really need it. I think these are small enough where they won't need it. I don't think the leaves are small enough. I think the leaves do need the holes. All right, so why do I feel like these are, oh no, they're not flat, okay. So now the next thing is I go to prepare and I go to supports over here. Oh, and I need to select everything. Can I do Control A? I can, good. Generate automatic supports. All right. Here are my supports. Everything looks good. Maybe I should add some supports. I don't usually add any, but people were saying that that there was some warping, and it was because I didn't have enough supports. So I don't know, let's add some supports. Make sure everything is nice and... Why do I feel like the teeth have no support? Neither of these do. It's so strange. So it's not showing any supports for the teeth. That's really strange. So I guess I'm just going to add some supports myself. Because I don't see how it will work without these supports. Let's get rid of that. Can I just undo? There we go. Okay, so at least that stuff has some supports. I've never actually seen that. So I'm a little surprised that it didn't have supports there. I'm quite surprised. And what are these supports? I guess it needs them. I'm just going to leave them. Alright, is there anything else I wanted to print again? I don't think so. I think everything else is good. So for now, I'm just going to save this. Save scene. I might make a few other things and I'll add it to this. But the only other thing that I would do is export this, export it to the memory card and then bring it over to the printer and print. So that's pretty much the process of this. But since I have all this build plate, I might just want to make one or two other things that I might want printed, and because I might as well just do some more tests and see what works and what doesn't work. And I don't want to duplicate this, because if I run into issues, I'll be upset and I'll have wasted a bunch of resin. So I'll see if this works, and then if it does, then we're good to go. So I think that's it. Keep an eye out for the actual final piece, the print. I'll record that, and I'll record painting and all that good stuff. All right, keep drawing, keep sculpting. I'll see you all in the next video. I never remember if I save, so I have to save multiple times.